Annyeong friends, I am Miracle and this video is specially for K-Influencer Academy. Everybody says they know Korea now, and maybe they do. Maybe they know the synchronized choreography of idols, flashing lights, and maybe they know the dramatic confessions under the cherry blossoms in Korean dramas. And maybe they know the convenience store ramen at midnight, the beauty trends, the fashion, the cafes that look too beautiful to be real. And Korea has become familiar to the world in a very specific way. Polished, fast, colorful, addictive, but sometimes I wonder, what does Korea look like when the cameras are turned off? What does it sound like when the background music begins? Because there is a version of Korea that lives quietly between pages, not on stage, not on trending tabs, but inside literature. And maybe that Korea is the most honest one. That is something deeply human about Korean literature. Not human in the dramatic way movies try to be, human in the uncomfortable way reality feels at 2 a.m. Korean literature talks a lot about loneliness, about silence, about enduring things quietly because you have no other choice. And I think that's what surprises many people. Because when international audience think of Korea, they often imagine confidence, perfection, ambition, beauty, this almost untouchable image. But Korean literature, it reveals exhaustion beneath perfection and tenderness beneath restraint and aloneness people try very hard not to show. For example, take Han Kang's Vegetarian. People often describe it as disturbing, and it is, but not because of violence alone. It's disturbing because of how quietly suffering happens in the story. The main character stops eating meat and suddenly everyone around her treats her like she has become dangerous, simply because she wants ownership over herself. And somehow, while reading it, we realize the novel was never really truly about food. It was about control, about obedience, about what happens when a person can no longer survive inside expectations. That feeling, that pressure to remain acceptable. People everywhere understand it. And that's why Korean literature travels so well emotionally, even when culturally it feels specific. People are trying to live without betraying themselves. And I think that's what makes Korean literature special. It doesn't beg to impress you, it simply tells you this is how it feels to be alive here. And sometimes through stories of war, sometimes through stories of the separated families, and sometimes through the mothers who sacrificed everything without ever saying it loud. Sometimes through people sitting alone in the tiny soul apartments, fighting against their demons, and wondering whether they are truly happy. And strangely, this aspect of Korea is much more peaceful and more relatable than any other advertisement could.